All right, so how do we use our nose and nasal breathing like gears in a car? If you're just sitting down or if you're walking, think of that as being in first gear. You should be able to nasal breathe the entire time. And just nice steady breathing in and out through the nose. And then if you're out on a walk or something like that, you know, maybe think of that as going into second gear. You should still be able to maintain nasal breathing the entire time. You shouldn't be at a point where you're feeling the need to mouth breathe. But it's when you start to go into that third gear, and if you're really good and you have a good aerobic capacity, you should be able to maintain nasal breathing even at third gear. But you might start to mix up the rhythm of your breathing at that point. So it might be, so if you're out on a little jog or something in third gear, think about like you're revving up a little bit more. So you might change the cadence of say your run, or if you're biking. So your breathing still be all nasal, but then you'll change up the rhythm a little bit. So So I like to do a double inhale, big exhale. And so that's all still nasal breathing, kind of moving up into third gear. And then fourth gear is when you might need to think about moving into a more mouth breathing. And that's simply because you need a lot more volume of air at that point. But you still want to focus on using your diaphragm and pulling the air deep down into your belly, making sure you're expanding the ribs laterally, even though you're mouth breathing. So not doing any of that shallow chest breathing. So if you're going up a hill, you know, you're at that nasal breathing, moving up, you're starting to get that higher heart rate. Steady breathing in and out through the mouth. And if you're really going faster, or if you're going up a hill, that's when think about your engine revving up a little bit, and you change up the cadence of your breathing at that point. So you can mix it up a little bit. So same kind of thing, if you're reached that plateau of the hill, you're starting to come back down a little bit, you want to downshift gears as well. So if you're all mouth breathing, you're really out of breath, think about extending that exhale, blowing off all that extra CO2 you just brought in, then shifting back to the nasal. Might be in through the nose, out through the mouth, until you're at a nice, lower that heart rate even more, and then go back to all nasal breathing, that second gear. To the point where you're back at a nice flat ground, or maybe you've stopped and you go back all nasal, nice, calm, relaxed state. So practice that. Let me know how it goes.